Hello, it's me, Himi, and I'm here to make a cooking video because I'm hungry and I also don't have a lot of ingredients, so I'm literally gonna make the quote-unquote pour soup, which means just get a bunch of stuff and put it in there, and at the end it's gonna taste like mwah because magic hands. But I'm gonna explain the ingredients, I'm gonna explain the process, give you the timings and all that stuff. Okay, so as ingredients, I'm gonna try to put them on the screen like actually like a text. But we have a carrot, 2 garlic cloves, because I love garlic. You can put just one if you don't like that much of a taste of garlic, but garlic does give it a lot of taste. Those are like those little cubes that help you make like the broth. It's a good starter if you don't know how to make proper broth or you don't have the stuff. You can also buy the broth like in the bottle, like the ready broth. But I prefer those ones because I can control how much salt I put in it. Because one of those should be good for, I think, like 1 liter of water, right? But it depends on like your personal taste. I feel like the ready broth that comes into like a bottle, sometimes they're too salty and you cannot do nothing about it. If it's too salty, you can not do much. Some salt, some pepper. I have some paprika. It's spicy paprika from Romania. Some sunflower oil. We've got some rice, and some meatballs, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, some peanut butter. You don't need a lot of it, you just need literally the tiniest amount, but you're gonna see afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna cut this first because it takes a little bit longer, and I'm always like, I don't know how to cut it because I sometimes want it to be a little bit bigger or to be a little bit smaller, so it depends all on it. If your cutting board does this, you can take cloth and one of those kitchen cloth, right? Like one of those, or even just a paper towel, and you can put that bad boy under your cutting board and it's not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, that's a trick for you. Probably you already know it, probably not, I don't know. But it's a good thing to do if you do have issues. Also, do not judge me for the knife I'm using because tomatoes and be right back to you guys, so you don't have to see all the cutting process. Okay, now all the veggies are cut. We are gonna take all the ingredients. We're gonna move on the other side next to the pot over here, and I'm gonna start adding the stuff into the pot and start actually cooking. I'm a little scared because I'm not used to cook onto the induction plate, but I'm hoping that I can do it. So you guys can see the pot action. I'm gonna try my best to move it and so you can see inside of the pot. And also try not to burn my camera and anything like that. But yeah, this is the pot that we're gonna use. And you need to add, because this is an induction, you have to add something in the pot before you turn it on. So I have to absolutely add the oil, because otherwise it's gonna make a lot of noise and it gets very risky actually. So they always say you need something onto it. Something, whatever it might be, you just need something in it. I'm gonna use a wooden spoon. This is very old, but it's still very good. So wooden spoons are the best for cooking in general because they don't release chemicals into your soup. The only thing that it might do is absorb some of the flavors in it. And the best way to clean them, if you have a very, very big pot, is to put them in there with water and a little bit of vinegar and salt, boil them, and everything is gonna come off and they're gonna be like new, very clean. But wooden spoons and wooden stuff in general, if they're treated properly, they don't leave anything and they don't go bad. So that's what we're gonna use. So I'm gonna turn on the heat. I'm gonna put it at 10, which is pretty much high, but not completely high. It's a medium high heat to get the oil ready. I'm gonna wait for it a little bit and then I'm gonna add in the garlic and all the other stuff. I'm gonna move this a little bit closer. Not too close because it's getting, this side is gonna get really hot, but I'm just gonna have it just a little bit closer to me. So we're gonna just wait a little bit and then we're gonna put the stuff in. Okay. So I'm seeing the oil starting to have like a little pattern. I don't know if you can see the little pattern onto it. But oil, when it's starting to get ready, it starts to have a little pattern on it, on the surface. And also you can see on the sides. But I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not. So I'm hoping it does pick it up. I'm gonna turn the fan on to absorb any smells that it might create. So let's add in the garlic first. Turn down the heat a little bit. Put it to I put it to a 6, which is like I feel like a medium-low heat. So the garlic on its own is just already starting to make it smell very, very nice. So garlic is in. We're gonna twirl it a little bit. And then we're gonna add the tomato. Carrots. And now the heat, you put it at very low. The soup is gonna be very out to me. It's gonna remind you of Halloween because of the carrots. You can also put some squash in it or some pumpkin if it's your preference. I'm gonna try to make some very seasonal veggies, soups or other recipes. Hoping that you guys are gonna like them and that you guys are gonna want to try them as well. So Now this is cooling down a little bit because I don't want it to burn. We're gonna take the 250 milliliters of the little glass that I showed you earlier. Get some rice in it. Which is convenient that I have this little container that holds it for me. So just fill that up. I'm gonna leave it like this just because you always need to add, especially when it's cooking the first time. For 1 cup of rice, you need to add 2 cups of water for the first part of the cooking. So this is the 1 glass. I'm gonna throw that in. Put this glass aside and then mix it in here so it absorbs a little bit of that oil and the flavor from the carrots. I'm gonna add my pepper. Add the paprika to make it a little spicy because I feel like this is the right season for spicy. And the dissolved cube of broth. Add that in. Take everything out. And we're gonna add a little bit more water to the pot. Same amount from before. Just gonna leave that there. We mix all together. We have to wait, the cube is not fully dissolved yet, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. And then when the rice is gonna be done, we need to add more water actually, but only when that's gonna be done. So for now, we're just gonna let it sit here at low heat for a little bit. You can put the heat. It has been about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm switching spoon because I don't like that one. I ended up adding a little bit of beef, like pieces of beef on its own to the broth. But it's starting, the rice is starting to change color and look a little bit more puffy. So at this point we can add in the meatballs. Give it a stir, and at this point we have to add water because the meatballs have to be like fully covered and to have extra water for them to like absorb. Same for the rice. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water. notice at this point that the pot is full of water and all the ingredients, that you should wait a little bit for the meatballs to a little bit cook, because like that they release some flavor and you can properly tell what to add and what not to add into a soup. But for now, this is what the soup is looking like. It's very orangey because of the carrots and the paprika. I added in a little bit of the tomatoes, and this is the rice with the little meatballs. Now you cover it. It's still on low heat. You cover it and you let it cook for about another 20 minutes or so. If you do want to have this cooked much faster, you can higher the heat. But also that means if you do have other chores in the house to do, you can't really if you have other stuff to do in the house and you just, I'm sorry, this is kind of like a little bit unprofessional, but we deal with it. But if you have other chores in the house and you want to clean, you want to do any other thing, you can leave it on low heat. It's gonna cook and you have all the time in the world, well, almost, to be able to do maybe your laundry or any other chores that you might have to do in the house. So I do suggest, if you have other things to do, to leave it on lower heat. If not, you can put it to medium heat instead of low heat. Put it to medium and it's gonna boil faster, but you have to be careful not to burn it, because with rice in it, it's really easy that the rice gets too much heat, it gets stuck to the bottom and you burn everything and you have to throw it away. So you choose how you want to cook it. But in between all that we did right now and how much I still have to leave it on low heat, in total the timing is about 40 minutes to an hour. Depends on how much you want your rice to be cooked, if you want it al dente or if you want it less al dente, for the meatballs to be super cooked or you want them a little bit juicier. Because meatballs, if you do boil them, they do tend to like get thicker, but if you don't boil them too much, they can stay a little bit softer. The prep and all that stuff, it takes about, let's say, 40 to an hour, and also on the heat. So keep that in mind. If you're hungry, you ain't eating this within an hour. I do have other recipes that you can do on if you're like starving, you're hungry, just came home and you just want to have those. Those are for the rice cooker. That takes 20 minutes and it's done. But that's gonna be another video. For now, we're just gonna wait for the soup to be done so we can taste it and be like, nom, 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 nom. Okay, so I let it simmer for a little bit. I upper the heat, it's at medium right now. And I did add a little bit of peanut butter, and I swear it gives it so much more. Like, honestly, it does such a difference. It was good before, but it makes it so much better with it. It gives it that extra something that I feel like spice it wouldn't be able to give it to. And now all that we have to do is cover this bad boy back up and wait for it to cook. Okay, I've got a bowl. And now it is time to taste this. And now Now this is the last part, is to taste it. It looks very creamy and I love a creamy soup. So steamy. I love it. I'm gonna try to get a close-up, but I'm gonna taste it first and then I'll do a little bit of a close-up. This is really good. It's really hot, so it's hard to like properly get it out of the spoon because the rice gets a little sticky. But oh my god, this is so good. Ooh, I'm burning my tongue. I want to taste it, I want to eat it, but I need to let it cool down. I'm gonna show you a close-up. This is so delicious. It's salty. It's a little spicy because of the spicy paprika that I put in. It's creamy. It has very rich flavor because of the peanut butter. It has a very faint like aftertaste of sweetness from the carrots, but it's just well balanced in my opinion for my personal taste. And it's creamy, it's nice, it's very good for like the start of fall, and you can use any veggie to make it. Like you can use carrots, you can use zucchini, you can use pumpkin, anything you've got in the fridge, you can use it. That's really good. I'm gonna give you a close-up shot so you can see the creaminess. Look at it. It's so creamy. I could have added more water and have it more liquidy, but I do love like the creaminess. It gives me that comfort food that, you know, when you're sick, that type of food. This is just perfect for me for the start of autumn. And I hope you guys will enjoy it as well as much as I do. Delicious. Well, I'm gonna finish this and I'll see you guys in the next recipe that I'm gonna make. If you have any suggestions or something that you would want me to make particularly and try, because I'm willing also to try recipes that I've never had, feel free to comment and to tell me what to try. But till then, let's see you in the next one. Bye!